Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We'll be making this beautiful bead today. First, you need your bead, your pearl bead, depending on the one you are making use of. Here is my fishing line, 70 and quarter. Then you roll out your fishing line. You start with 4 beads. You can put it in any of the fishing line. Put 3 and then the last one, making it the 4th one, you cross over with the other line. You have this. Next, you go on with 3 beads. Put 1 on each line, then cross over with the 3rd one. We are making chain at this moment. We have the 2nd chain. This is how it's looking like. You add another 3 beads. 1 on each line. Cross over with the 3rd one. This is the 3rd one. So for the last one, making it the 4th one, we are adding 3 beads, but on one line. Add the 3 beads on one line, then the last one you cross over with the other one, so that your fishing line will face the side. It will face the side now. So with this line now, I'm pointing at it, you add 3 beads on that line. That is 1, 2, cross over with the last one. That is the 3rd one. Now it's facing one direction, as you can see. So with this fishing line I'm putting out, use it and cross over 1 bead. Watch me as I do it. Cross over 1 bead. You have something like this. Then on this other one, you add 2 beads on this line. That is 1 and cross over with the last one. That is the 2nd one. You have this. On the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. On the outside line, you add 2 beads. One and cross over by with 1. You have something like this. Then on the edge, this is what you do. On the inner line, you cross over by one bead in the inner line. Within the same line, you add your 2 beads. That is 1 and cross over by 1. You have something like this. It's facing by the side now. On this side one, you add your 3 beads. It's facing one direction now. Then on the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. On the outside line, you add 2 beads. Inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. On the outside line, you add 2 beads. On the final line, the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. Under the same line, you add your 2 beads. Hope you understand it now. You see where the line is facing now. On the outside one, you add your 3 beads under the same line. Cross over by the last one. It will face one direction again. On the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. Outside one, you add 2 beads. This is how you make the base. Inner line 1 bead, you cross over by 1 bead. Outside line, you add 2 beads. We are making the foundation. On the edge by the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. Under the same inner bead, you add 2 beads. Under the same inner line, you add 2 beads. Sorry. You have something like this. So we are done with the foundation. Now we'll be making the side. So you start by adding 3 beads on this line. 3 beads, cross over by the last one. Now it's not going to be flat again. This is how it will look like. Do you see it? Hope you can see it very well. On the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. That is something that you did on the foundation, but here it doesn't need to lay flat again. On the outside line, you add 2 beads. But if yours is lying flat, you can still correct it at the end of this row. But make sure it's not lying flat. Inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. Outside line, you add 2 beads. With the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. This is how you are going to do it till you reach the edge. Inner line, cross over by 1 bead. Outside line, you add 2 beads. On the last line, I will show you how to close each row. I'll show you when we reach to the last bead on this row. Like normal, you cross over by 1 bead the inner line. On the outside line, you add 2 beads. So for the last opening, for the last space, with that inner line, look what you're going to do. You cross over by these 2 beads with the inner line. Cross over with this one, cross over with this other one, making it 2. Now you are adding 1 bead instead of 2 like you used to. You are adding 1 bead to use to close the row. This is how it's looking like. So for new row, you add 3 beads on 1 line, depending on the line that you want to start with. On the other one, you cross over with the last bead. The inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. On the outside line, you add 2 beads. Cross over by 1 bead with the inner line. The outside one, This is how you are going to do it till you reach the edge again. We are going to repeat the same thing that we did on the last bead of the row of the first row. With the inner line, you cross over by one bead and add 2 beads on the outside line. So for the final bead, you cross over, you use the line and cross over 2 beads, the last 2 beads. For the final bead, you use the line and cross over the last 2 beads. Then you add 1 bead. Here my fishing line are almost finished, so I want to show you how I secure my fishing line. Here, instead of crossing over, I tie it. Then I use the fishing line to go through the other beads I've done before in order to hide the knot and also secure the line. Watch me as I do it. I'm doing this in order to secure the lines from losing. You do the same on the other line. So here, I just decided to start another new line with another color and another type of pearl bead. Here I'll be adding whites. For starting, you add 3 beads. Cross over with the last one. The same thing you did on the previous rows. On the inner line, you cross over by 1 bead. The outside line, you add 2 beads. This is how you are going to do it till you reach your desired height, desired size of bag. Once again, let me show you how to close it for the last time. For the last row, you go through with the inner line, you go through the first bead, then the second bead, and add only 1 bead. You cross over with only the 1 bead. I've reached the desired length. This is how you put your handle, the bass hand. You use your fishing line, cross over by one bead. Make sure you determine the middle beads, so that your bag hand will be at the middle. Here I merge the two fishing lines, then start adding the white pearls. The two fishing lines are together. This other side is 6, so let me complete this other side the same 6 so that it will be equal. Then I'll show you how I secure the line. You count and make sure you are in the middle. Cross over with the middle bead. Then with each fishing line, you cross over till the two fishing line meets. When they meet, you tie the two fishing line. Tie them, hide the knots, and then secure the lines. Hide the knots and secure the lines. If you find this tutorial helpful, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel.